Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. I have with me Vicki Buelow. She is the author of Unity, the Rainbow. Hold on, I'm going to start that over. Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited to have with me Vicki Buelow. She is the author of Unity, the Rainbow Unicorn, and her forest friends. Thanks so much for being here today, Vicki. Can you tell us about your book?
Sure. So I wrote the book. It's kind of inspired by my grandkids. I have four of them, um, five and under. So I guess I noticed through them growing and aging, and especially with the oldest being in kindergarten now, that I wanted to come up with a way of trying to come up with stories that would make sense to them and help them to navigate emotion. So it's more for they're cutesy stories, but I didn't want to have it be like too hard for them to understand. So try to narrow it into so that it's something that is easy for them to understand. But if if they were not going to be able to read it, that the adult that was reading it to them would actually get something out of it too. So it's kind of a little bit for everybody. If you're an adult or reading it to your child or the child that's around you, you're going to get something from it too. So Unity is like the main character in the first story. So this is a collection of 8 stories. It's loosely based on the chakra system in the body. So Unity represents everything being in balance, right? So she's white. White incorporates every color of the spectrum, right? And her mane and tail are rainbow, so it corresponds to the color. When she's bright and vibrant, she's in balance and she's happy. But her story is about how she woke up one day and her colors were muted, they were more pastel. And going through like the discovery phase of, okay, so what caused this? Why is it like this? And then all her 7 friends come to her and offer support and comfort. And then you get into like positive affirmations, which I work with my grandkids, um, and even with people that I work with on the right? I am grounded, I am safe, I am secure, that kind of thing. But it's written in a way for so kids can clearly understand it. And then each additional story in the book is one of her friends, one of the characters, and they have their own story to tell. So the first um, 3 stories after Unity deals with some breath work too. So it's learning and teaching them how to breathe in, hold it for 3 out. It's I work with that with my grandkids. I even do it myself if I'm feeling agitated. You take a deep breath, you hold it, and you just let it go. It brings you down, it calms you down. So it lets you help you think more clear, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so there's a 7 additional stories, each one for each friend, in addition to the story. Unity's in pretty much all of them except for a few, but she's like the main character in the book.
Well, I think that all of these things are so great to be teaching kids. I love the breath work, the positive affirmations,
Mhm.
especially you talk about learning how to navigate through big emotions. That is so great. What was your inspiration for writing the book, Vicki?
So the idea came to me. I was working on a new client, and I was just sitting there, kind of thinking, and it was one of those where the idea came into my mind, and it was the name, it was the story, it was the start of it. Um, and I was like, well, okay, I'm not, I didn't go to school for English. I'm not a literature major. I don't, And I sat there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna do it. I sat down on the computer and I started to write. And then after you play around with it, I played around with it for a while because you switch wording around. And then it was now do each one of her friends. Each one of her friends needs to have a story. So it was important that it was the complete collection instead of like chopping it into each individual story because they all kind of pertain to each other. So it was just an idea that was given I think given to me. Um, it depends on your belief system. You can take that for how you want to. but I definitely consider myself a co-author. This was not just me. This came in from higher. So,
Ooh, that gives me goosebumps.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about the story or the message behind the story or about yourself?
So the message behind it, I mean, I guess my my hope and my intention when I wrote it, um, I'm not doing this for the money. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you want to be an author because you want money." No, I want people who read this book, whether it's the kids or the adults, to get something out of it, to have them help them, even if it's just one thing out of that book. Then that to me is a success. It's not like, oh, I want to make $1 million. That doesn't even really come into play. I want whoever reads this book to get what they need out of it. And the people that need to find this book will find that book. That was the intention when I wrote it. The ones that need it will find it, whether it's through social media, Amazon, or whatever other avenue it happens. The ones that need it will find it. That's my goal. It's my inspiration and my intention when I wrote the book.
Well, Vicki, I think this will be really successful for you because I think that these tools are something that kids really, really need today and parents. And I think that this is great and it's going to help a lot of people. If anyone is interested in picking up a copy of Vicki's book, it's Vicki Buelow, Unity, the Rainbow Unicorn and Her Forest Friends. And you can find it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Apple Books, just to name a few. Thank you so much for being with us today, Vicki.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure speaking with you.